Victoria Vox.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's just great to see you. Um, People don't know this necessarily, but you're the first person I ever got to know in the ukulele world.
Happy to be your first, Ben.
You never forget them, right? But um, I remember, and this is funny because I'm going to Hawaii next week, but I was in Hawaii when in 2009 when I stumbled upon the Ukulele Festival Hawaii, Roy Sakuma's uh, festival, and just saw all kinds of wonderful things there. Jake played with Pure Heart there. There were four women from, I think they're from Sweden, playing ukulele and singing songs in Swedish. Of course, there were a bunch of Hawaiian players and players from Japan and that. Peter Luongo was there with the kids, the Langley Ukulele Ensemble, and that really got me hooked. It was just, oh man, everybody playing together. And I got a hold of Stan Werbin at Elderly Instruments, who's always been an ukulele proponent, and said, dude, you've been right all the time. The ukulele is the cool thing. So then I looked on the website and you were teaching a workshop. And I go, Victoria Vox, I don't know, who is this person? So I sent you an email I was still in Hawaii. I said, hey, I host these like house concerts in a little art gallery near Elderly. And I go, I see you're playing at the store. Are you doing, anything after that? And you said, no, I'm just gonna drive to Toronto after that, I think it was. And I
Ottawa.
said, well, Ottawa. I said, well, you want to play a concert? And you said, yeah. So that was the first time I got to meet you. And as soon as you were done, you hopped in your car and you drove all night to Ottawa.
I
I
did.
think I think playing your ukulele while you were driving, if I'm not mistaken.
Possible.
Kids don't do this
I
at home.
stopped I stopped doing that sometime around there, I think. So,
I think I remember you saying you did, but since then, we've worked together on a bunch of different things. In fact, you helped me pick out my first ukulele at Elderly Instruments, a nice little Kala, mahogany Kala. I still play it. And then you
awesome.
signed it, Victoria Vox. That's how you write, right? There
Yep,
we
the
go.
signature is the same.
And you played at you played at a little bar once in Lansing. You played at the
Oh, Avenue
Courtyard,
A?
the Avenue. Yeah,
Yeah, the Avenue.
yep, yep. And we shot some pool before that, as I remember. And then you played in the Courtyard at the Old Town General Store. And you've been at Midwest Uke Camp and Mighty Uke Day, and you've been at Ashokan before too.
I
Back
have.
when we were trying to figure out, we think it was 2016
Yeah, it was
with
either 2015 or 2016.
yeah, Gerald and Del Rey and Rachel Mankey and yeah, so it's cool that then you taught at Interlaken at Oktoberfest 2 years ago,
That's
when
right. 22, October 22.
yeah, I think when Nirvana and REM came out,
Mm-hmm.
and we did a little tour of Michigan there. And for those of you out there that haven't heard it, that album is as fine as any album anyone well known or not hardly known had released that year.
Well, thank
Seriously.
you.
It was just amazing. And Rhea and I still listen to it all the time. Um, I think, in fact, one night we are just laying in bed and we're going, floating on fruit, which is from one of your songs that I texted you. I go, we're singing floating on fruit before
We're
we
in
go to
bed.
sleep. And you go, you guys are weird. You guys are weird. But anyway, I'm so happy to be able to bring you back to Ashokan because it has been a while. And maybe, I mean, just fill people in a little bit what you've been doing lately. You were just in France for all summer pretty much, wasn't it,
Yeah,
last year?
the last two summers I've had the opportunity to go to France, kind of on self directed artist retreats. And I think since
Okay.
during the pandemic, being stuck at home and then traveling just felt weird and wasn't the same. And I really missed Europe and missed spending extended times in France. I was a foreign exchange student in high school
Oh, okay.
and have been back many times and speak French. And so I missed that part of my life. And so,
Sure.
kind of after, right after, when things started to open up again, I made the decision. I'm like, I need to go there and like stay for
Yeah.
not just passing through for 3 days. Like that's not going to cut it anymore. So I've, reconnected with some old friends, made some, have made friends through the ukulele community. I was on an album called Songs for Sirens, which was a compilation album that is raises money for cleaning up the oceans. And so there was a band on there called Jane for Tea, and they lived in Toulouse at the time, which is in southwestern France, and they now live a little bit south, more into the mountains. But so getting to meet them in person for the first time a couple of years ago was really cool, and we've
Yeah.
kept in touch. And they're actually coming here in March for my ukulele festival in Orange County.
Well, that's right. You
Yeah,
can tell
so
people a little bit about that too.
yeah,
I remember now, correct me if I'm wrong, a couple years ago, you must have been at Midwest Youth Camp or something, and you actually asked me, you go, well, what kind of temperament do you need to run an ukulele festival or something like that? You said you seem like you're so calm about it. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't know.
I'm
And
starting to
then
understand.
you're starting to get it. But yeah, tell us a little bit about the Orange County.
We had our inaugural year in 2024, and I think I had a great team, and we would meet monthly, and just getting all the parts together.
Right.
Having been a performer and performing at ukulele festivals since 2006, all over the world, I've seen a fair share of ukulele festivals. I see how they're run differently, and sorry, I'm declining. um, just seeing how they're run and things I like about some
Yeah.
format things I don't like, and kind of can take what I feel is, best for the artists, best for the attendee. Uh, yeah, it was just kind of, it was all a bit of an experiment.
Sure.
And we had a great first year. We sold out and everybody had a great time and the vibe was awesome and we couldn't have asked for more. So we're about to have our second one in a couple months, less than a couple
Yeah.
months. But there's the LA Ukulele Festival, which is our neighbor to the
Mitch's.
north,
Yep.
and that was before Mitch had started that festival. There was one in Cerritos, which was a little bit closer to Orange County, I think, but there'd never been one like in Orange County. So I think people have been
Yeah.
just really supportive and excited. And
Good.
I get emails almost every day of like, I didn't get a ticket in time. And so we're trying to figure out how we can grow, how we can make it bigger. The
Yeah.
main issue, the hardest thing with running a festival, I think, is finding a location.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the biggest challenge of
Yeah.
just a suitable location within budget.
Well, speaking of locations, I think Ashokan has one of the more unique places to hold a festival.
Oh, it's
You've been there
beautiful. Kind of
before.
secluded,
It's
yeah.
amazing. It's I come out of that 2 weeks after Mighty Ute Day where I'm still a little frazzled, and there's something about going to Ashokan and being out there in nature and having the woods and the waterfall and then all the people there. Um, I mean, the infrastructure, you got great food and stuff, but just all the attendees and the staff there, it's just I don't know, it's such a rewarding experience. I mean, I just love that place. It reminds me, while you're from Wisconsin or originally, it reminds me a little bit about being back in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. just with the woods and all the water. And it's an incredibly special place.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to coming back. So,
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. And we talked a little bit about your studio version of Nirvana and REM, but you've also come out with, I don't know if I'd call it an acoustic version per se, but it's a little more stripped down, more what you've
oh,
done
it's a
live.
lot stripped down.
Yeah. Well, the other one was quite ambitious, and it lived up to it too. I mean, it was amazing, but
It was
um,
simple. I mean, even the produced version, which I recorded here in this room,
oh, really? Oh,
I
wow.
I do. I learned how to use Pro Tools in 2007, and have just continued to learn. And kind of during the pandemic, took a production songwriting course online, and that kind of got me into experimenting with samples and manipulating samples to do make them do what you want musically.
Yeah.
And so that album was really kind of it just created using a lot of samples. And not there were a couple songs I think I wrote on the like actually wrote on the
Right.
ukulele. And then there were other songs that I recorded, maybe a ukulele part for the whole album, for the whole song. But then when I had it mixed by Jeff Stanfield, he said, he would choose what maybe the ukulele only came in on the chorus. And it was really
Right.
one of those albums when I finished it, thinking, how am I going to do this live? How am I going to play
Right.
these songs? Like
Right. Right.
there are
Right.
songs like Easy Money and Checkerboard Flooring in particular that I didn't play the song. I didn't play any, like really any of it on the ukulele, maybe the chorus of Easy Money. So over the next year and a half of touring and kind of October, our Michigan run
Right.
kind of kick-started that. And even the versions that I play live of them now are different than what I was doing in
Oh,
October
okay.
2022.
Because it was amazing when you were in Michigan and we were in Holland, and of course at Interlaken, and then over in where was it? Where you caught the ferry?
Oh,
Um,
Ludington.
yeah, Ludington, that beautiful center for the arts. Yeah, it was to me, I couldn't believe how you recreated those songs, and with your looper and everything, and it was. I mean, I didn't miss the production of the album. I mean, I love the produced album, but I didn't miss that when I was listening to them. And I remember what was the one song that we were talking about how to keep putting in more jungle sounds in it.
Oh, the Eye of the Animal.
Yeah, right. That was pretty fun. But
Jack
no,
and I were jamming on that one last night here at rehearsal, and
uh,
he's like, "That's really fun."
that was a fun song. Well, and that's the thing is when you have good songs. They can you can have the produced version. You can just probably sit down with your ukulele and play them, and they sound great. You can get somewhere in between, but the core is a really good song, and that's
Thank you.
um, one of the things that I've always admired about your music, because I don't know, I've pretty much listened to all the ones I know of, and everything back from the little tugboat one to Daffodils and all the way through this. There's songs that still stick with me.
Oh, well,
So,
thank you.
yeah,
Yeah, the acoustic version I recorded last summer while at Jane Fortee's house in in the foothills of the Pyrenees. And that was yeah, we basically, it was like maybe 2 days in the
yeah,
studio. Like I did all the vocals in one day. I wanted to go in because the produced album I had, basically a year to work on that.
right, right,
And I went in with the acoustic version in mind and said, I'm just like, I don't want to overthink any of this. I want to play 2 to 3 passes max
yeah,
of, the part, or like some of it's loop based. So, I mean, really just had to play like one measure. We made the loop as if it was live, like a live loop.
right,
And then I would go over and play whatever parts on top of it. But I didn't want to overthink any of it. And so it was really an amazing experience recording it. And when Severine and Jean-Pierre there, sometimes they were just in tears because they'd heard the produced album, but they'd never heard it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It was really special, and the just the music for me, it's like, yeah, the songs are, they're just different types of songs, especially for
absolutely,
the ukulele world. They're just
absolutely.
so they're different.
Well, they're just not. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. That album in particular, I've given to a lot of, or I've exposed a lot of people that aren't into ukulele at all because it's great music. You know,
Thank you.
you know. So you'll be at Ashokan and teaching a few different workshops. So we haven't chosen them yet, but I'm going to look at them and we'll pick some good ones. And I've worked with you enough times that I really know how you can teach and how people can connect with you. And it's going to be fun with all of us together there.
The cool
To
thing, with the Shokin is that it's a retreat,
Yeah,
and we're having meals together, we're walking
yeah, yeah,
around the center together, and people should always feel they can come up and ask a question or just chat.
yeah.
It's not just solely for the workshop hour,
Right,
but it's the
right.
entire event that we're there, and we're there to be of assistance in any way.
Yeah, and just share music and I love the instructor concert that we all do, and then we'll do something at the end together. And we've got quite a mix of different. We got Andy Wilson there, who's going to be playing all kinds of cool harmonica and whatever else he brings along. And then the thing I really love is the camper cabaret, where all the students get up and play, and maybe with some people they never played with before that they just
Mhm.
met there. So, well, May 20. I keep having to look at the. I would say
You've got a
Memorial
lot
Day
going
weekend, but what are the
on.
dates? May 23rd through 25th at the Ashokan Center, and um, I know you've got a lot of stuff going on before that, and it'll be good to catch up when we get there.
Definitely.
All right. Well, we'll see you at the end of May.
All right. Thanks for having me, Ben.
All right. So long, Victoria.
Bye.
Bye.